I'll start by attacking his case. First, definition. The resolution of this debate is, this House believes that prisons should be abolished. Now let's define abolish. Formerly put an end to a system, practice, or institution, also known as the destruction of an institution, in this case, prisons. This is abusive on the proposition side because they leave no ground for the opposition to debate. Abolish does not mean reduce. That's like 6th grade English. Second, they claim that my gap inequality doesn't apply when it specifically does. Gap inequality remains no matter where you transfer the funds. If you transfer them to the rehabilitation programs, that doesn't solve for any of the rich-poor gap within the criminals and the privileges that rich criminals get even if they do go to prison. Also, they claim to alleviate monetary problems exhibited throughout the prison system by transferring the funds into rehabilitation programs. The transfer of money does not equal the solution to debt. Debt is not solved by money being just transferred around to something else. Third, they claim recidivism is not helped by incarceration. This is true. That's why I argue for rehabilitation programs. However, sometimes there are criminals who cannot be left out into society. I also argue for prisons to stay, to house these criminals. The world is not a utopia and we cannot treat it like one and let these criminals just freely run around in society. Also, this goes back to our definition argument. Abolish is not the same as reduce, so any plan they have of locking severely dangerous criminals back into jails goes out the window because that is not his option to argue in this debate. 4. Rehabilitation and punishment through incarceration cannot go hand in hand within their plan. They must argue the abolition of prisons, and they do not. Whereas rehabilitation and incarceration as a punishment can both exist under my plan's reforms, which keep society safe and assist in the reintroduction of criminals back into society. Again, they state that the money used for criminals will be transferred into rehabilitation programs, and this will help save money. And again, I must answer that the transfer of money is not a way to solve debt. On to my own plan. 1. They claim that my reforms do not meet their standard and that they are not cost effective. My reforms do meet the standard of debate under the correct definition of abolish and solve for everything that they do with the added benefit of allowing society to remain safe for criminals who cannot be helped. Also, my plan is just as cost effective as his, using rehabilitation to divert money from the prison system as we narrow it down in order to fix the system. This allows for a better rehabilitation program and reintroduction back into the society and a more efficient and safer prison system used for housing criminals. Roll of the ballot. The role here of the judge here is to vote for the most topical plan that solves the best. I am both topical, arguing my side, and I solve for rehabilitation and the prison system, as well as many other added benefits without any backlash, and the reforms which would be instituted to help fix the whole criminal justice system rather than just the prison system, which has the best outcome for the most amount of people. For the above reasons, I urge opposition ballot. Also, side note, she, her pronouns are fine with me, but I would have preferred if you had asked first and use they, them. Please keep this in mind as we continue this debate.